Hello, guest user. Welcome to the Ericsson Security Research Channel, an educational effort focused on cybersecurity and ethical hacking. Today, we're going to discuss the common practice of companies putting information in articles behind paywalls and then selling access to that information only to the people who can afford it. So, the practice of paywalling or requiring a subscription really gained momentum, I guess, in the 2010s after a long trend of declining ad revenue made that practice especially appealing to news outlets. Now, I believe that ideally all information should be free to access. However, there's a solid ethical basis for a company charging for its intellectual property. And anyway, that's not what we're here to discuss today. What I want to do is look at the implementation of this and what it looks like in the field. So let's take a look. We'll spin the wheel of destiny and we'll pick on the Washington Post. Now, like a lot of sites that use paywalls, the Post is going to give you the first couple of these free. So we can look at this one. Oh, geez, what a nice article. And maybe we can look at this one. And that loads up just fine. And we'll do the national security story. And that looks good. And boom, now we've hit the paywall. So what it does here is kind of like a drug dealer. They give you the first few stories for free and then abruptly cut you off if you don't pay up. So let's look at what's going on here. We're going to go ahead and use the F12 key to open DevTools. And then we're going to look at the cookie set by this site under the storage tab. So this is the cookie that we have right here. And what this basically is a small text file that contains data like these strings that you can see here that don't really mean anything at all to us, but do correspond to key pairs and data entries in a database on their server somewhere. So what this is doing is uniquely identifying us. And that's why we get this. Now, we could go up here and we could clear the site data for the site and then try to reload. And in the old days, that would work just fine. And you would get another 4 articles and you could keep going and going and going. The problem with that is it's an arms race, folks. So the paywalls don't just use cookies to uniquely identify you anymore. They can use browser fingerprinting. They can use your IP address. They can use MAC addresses. There are all kinds of ways that they can pinpoint you. So let's go ahead and make this fail again. We'll go national security. We'll do live updates. We'll go back here to the post again. We'll add this one up and we'll do this guy here, and I think we should get one more. There we go. Okay, and it blew us up. So there is a person in India who has actually coded an add-on for browsers that basically takes care of paywalls on just about every site in the world. I'll show you a list here in a minute, but let me just show you the functionality. So I currently have this turned off. I'm going to put this on, links in the doobly-doo, of course. And now that this is on, we have unlimited ads. Freudian slip there. We have unlimited articles. So just to show you that this does indeed work, we're just going to keep clicking on articles and they'll just keep loading up. And we have absolutely no problem with that. And I think you can kind of trust me on that it is working. We can also go to other sites that are paywalled, like the LA Times, and we can click around on the LA Times and we will not hit a paywall here either. That's hilarious. We just did hit a paywall. Oh, that's because the browser extension is off. That's perfect. I'm so glad that happened that way. So let's turn it on for this site. And there we go. And now we have no more problems with the LA Times. Yada, 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 yada. Now, I don't usually recommend browser extensions. From a security point of view, they can be a nightmare. But if we take a look at this one, it's actually, it is hosted here on GitLab. And this is the actual script. Let me take this down a little bit so you can see a little bit better. So this is the actual code. This is released under an MIT license, so you can kind of get a look under the hood and see what this thing is doing. So for each one of these domains, it basically sticks them in a group of domains, and then it will perform certain actions on every page in that domain. Like it will remove query selectors and DOM selectors and just basically defeat the paywall on each and every single one of these sites. So if we look, well, first of all, let's take a look at the sites that it does work with. So for world news, we've got Harper's, Newsweek, Reuters, The Atlantic, Nation, New Republic, New York Review of Books, New York Times, which is a bonus for me, Washington Post, World Politics Review, Adweek, yada, yada, yada. Tech and science is really exciting because you can get things like Scientific American, MIT Technology, bada, bada. This works with literally thousands of sites, including local USA and worldwide sites. And it's just a really good piece of software. If we take a look at this, we can see that by default, the cookies and local storage are removed right after the page loads to bypass the article limit. And also what it will do is it will spoof your your user agent. And it will spoof that to Googlebot or Bingbot. And the reason for that is a lot of these sites that paywall, they don't want you clicking on a Google result and getting slapped in the face with a paywall. They want you to read that read that article, and then the next one that you click on, you will get paywalled on that one. So if that server thinks that you are your user agent is a Google query, it will just work. So that's one of the ways that they get around this. So I should say that all of these vulnerabilities have been reported to the owners and administrators of all of these different websites, and they have chosen for whatever reason not to remediate them. So from my point of view, that basically says that they do not care if users use that exploit or that exploit is used against them because these things have been reported as bugs. Anyway, that's a basic overview. I will leave links to everything in the doobly-doo for those of you who are interested in playing with this thing. I will say that with all add-ons, what you can do in Firefox is you can just go to add-ons and themes and you can go to this site. Let me begin this. And let's just go ahead and disable that. And now it is disabled. The only thing enabled right now is uBlock Origin, which is my favorite extension of all time. And there will be a video on that one shortly. Anyway, thank you for hanging out with me in the Security Garage and maybe learning a little something. This has been the Ericsson Security Research Channel. Thanks a lot.